Hi, hello, good afternoon. It's time. What's up? It's time to keep swimming with Clark Kent. You know the podcast where we just talk about whatever, and hopefully I can get your mind off of whatever you're thinking about. Um, maybe you're about to go to the grocery store. Maybe you're about to. I don't freaking know. Use the bathroom. You're listening to me now. It's Monday. Haven't been doing these podcasts for a very long time. I'm doing it. I don't care if my other podcast said I'm gonna do it. Well, this one's saying it again. A year later. Hello. Um, I don't know. I just actually did a What Wednesday the other day. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I think the sheer fact of just doing them whenever, at any point in time. Oh, I want them to be in the morning for people to wake up to. You know what? They're gonna be done in the afternoon, and you're just gonna listen to them Tuesday morning. That's where if it's come down to this point where I love doing them so much that I'm going to just do them regardless, and I'm still gonna have it on the same schedule. Sure, it's going to be a Monday Friday morning podcast or whatever, but it's going to be just Monday Friday podcast, and listen to them whenever you want, and that's kind of what is gonna make me a lot happier, and I think that's gonna make me I don't know, continue to do them, right? Just something you just keep on coming back to. You keep on trying to figure out different ways that's gonna help you do it, or that's gonna help you get through it, or help you, be dedicated to the thing that you want to do, and you keep, I don't know, you keep falling out, or um, something gets your way, or another obstacle pops in, but you're gonna try to get back to that again anyways. So that's just where I'm at. I'm gonna be doing these things. Don't care what time I do them. They're gonna happen just because I don't know. I like to feel like I like speaking. Um, I like just kind of talking about what's going on and trying to, even if I don't really have a plan, just gonna do them. So what else? What else am I? You know. So it just makes me happy. So that's what's gonna happen. Um, in terms of what's been going on, nothing. Just haven't been on it. Um, the last I know I a lot of times in these podcasts I talked a lot about going to the gym. I actually have been. It's probably the one thing that I have been nicely dedicated to within my life, is going to the gym, trying to not really burn a sweat or get anything out. Just feel like that's a daily thing now that I need to. I don't know, that I feel very awkward and unfulfilled if I don't get done. So that's something I need to start. I mean, not something I need to start. That's something I'm going to continue to, always trying to make sure. But that's something I need to try to make sure I do with my, with this podcast. Trying to, if I make it on such a daily point where it's like, wow, I didn't do what I need to do. I don't feel right. It's going to get done, right? That's how commitment is done. That's how you build dedication. That's how you build commitment to your things. It's how you keep on doing them regardless of what's going on. Um, yep, I've been going to the gym. I feel great on that. I've actually been eating very nicely. I think it's very important that you keep your diet in check. You keep I'm not saying to be that I'm a nutritionist. I'm not saying that I read the back of labels and try to figure out what amount of calories or how many macros is going into this certain dish. But I do. I mean, try to make yourself a balanced meal. I don't sit. I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I sit here and eat chips, or at least or like sit on the couch and just watch TV and eat chips, or just kind of like, I don't drink any soda or anything like that. So I'm not better than anybody, but I just feel like that's not helping myself. So that's that. What else? I'm still doing this school stuff. Still year and whatever later this um I'm doing this thing. I'm almost done. I like to feel like I got myself another year here. So let's give myself hopefully the best Christmas present of the last 5 years, and get this get this graduation underway. Uh, it's definitely been a nice and long journey. I can say I like to feel like there's been a lot about college that just have gotten. I don't know if I've had my ups, I've had my downs, and I think if somebody were to come up to me and ask me about my experience, I like to feel like I would be able to. I don't know, give them a nice overview of some really good things, some really bad things, some experience of how some professors might have been and versus others, and some assignments. Um, let's say the levels to just how I first started out, what I might have been doing, and just how the education is thrown at you at that level versus you're about 5 years in and you're having professors that are just let's say if you're in a class that they don't believe you should be in, not only are yes, it's college, nobody's going to tell you anything, but they're not going to say that you're not supposed to be in that class. And when you do finally, let's say you reach out to them and you were to say, well, am I supposed to be in this? They're going to flat out tell you no. Or they're going to, like there isn't a lot of, I don't want to say help, because that really should never be the main thing. You're in college, you're paying for this education. You really should be reaching out to these people for your assistance at all. But I don't know. There's not full the most amount of guidance. Yes, you're supposed to get in touch with your advisor, but let's say your advisor is busy or your advisor just wants to get through it, because a lot of times to a lot of advisors it is just a job. Um, and they'll throw you into whatever classes they feel as though you're saying that you should just be in, expecting that exactly what you're going through and what's expected of you. It just can get a little confusing sometimes. You can do things that may hurt your grade. You might do things that you didn't even know what's going to. You should be. It's just there's so much being put completely on you, which I want to stress that it should be on you, right? This is what it's for. But let's just say I don't feel like I don't know. There is so much. Man, I want to keep coming back to the word help. I don't think that's the best word. That's the word I'm going to use. All right, that's it is what it is. I don't feel as though there's so much assistance when no, like they try to be adamant. They try to tell you that there's help, but unless you do it, it won't happen. Which I get it. I get it. I get it. It's my fault. But I don't know. I'm going through it. I feel like I feel like it isn't that hard, but there's little things that might hiccup you that somehow can create a bigger situation than it was ever supposed to be, and now you're in this pot. That's just brewing this disaster of a stew. Um, but all in all, it's almost done. You're as long as you do it right, and I've always said that this college or this whole getting a greater education thing has never really been for the quote unquote greater education. In my understanding, you can come into a lot of these college classes and it doesn't even matter if you're paying for them at all, right? You're more paying for the educator or the professors to grade your work and give you that credit more than to just sit down and listen. Anybody can come in there and sit down and listen. A lot of these professors actually just love just teaching, right? Just educating anybody. So if you just come in and come sit down for a class, that's completely fine. But in terms of getting that credit for that class, that won't happen. So I've always truly thought about school as in I need this piece of paper. Um, that purely is just gonna help me, look better than other candidates. Just say that I did it. I went through the trouble, and got this award for it, and that just looks better than other individuals. It might quote unquote open up doors for me, and that's the whole point of it. And I feel as though even more. Networking with individuals is going to be your greatest, standpoint when it comes to college. You have so many people around you that are trying to, get to a higher advanced part in society. A lot of us have the same ideology when it comes to advanced or higher schooling. When it comes to college, that this type of work should hopefully get me to, a higher point. Like, uh, I'm not saying that people, like, there's nothing bad at working at any type of minimum wage job at all. But uh, I like to believe that any of us in the college, background or trying to go throughout it are not hoping to work a minimum wage job, right? That's my goal, or at least that's I feel as though that's a lot of individuals' goals. That when gaining this degree that they spend money on, they've gone to a higher education, they should be rewarded with a higher a higher standpoint when they come out of this stuff. So that's kind of like the whole goal of this stuff, is just to come out of it a little bit higher than the competition, right? That's just look a little bit better. About to be done. About to be done. Um, what else could I even talk about at the moment? It's cold outside. I'll tell you that much. Um, I've never really liked the cold. I like to believe I am anemic, but probably not. I get cold sweats when I'm cold, and I don't understand. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Like, it's like, let's say your palms get really sweaty, but it's really cold outside, or you start just sweating underneath your armpits. It's like, where is this? For why? Maybe I'll look into it one day. I'm not, this isn't why I'm in college. I'm not doing this field. um, but yeah, no, I fucking hate the cold. I will say, uh, I've told myself many times that even if let's say I were to move to somewhere down south, uh, I like to feel like I'd miss the snow, right? Where just kind of like either you wake up and you see this nice blanket of snow all over the ground. Um, that's like, in my opinion, a really gorgeous sight. And even more, let's say it's symbolized. Let's say I'll have some childhood flashbacks of when school got canceled or anything, like, oh man, snow day, we get to go slide down this or slide the sleds down the hill. Or a bunch of my buddies, we when we were younger, we definitely walked around to multiple houses, see if we can get 30-40 dollars for shoveling some people's driveways, and then at the end of the day, we're all at McDonald's, cashing in some of our rewards and everything. Yeah, I just feel like that's like sometimes to me a symbol of the cold. I feel like that bring back a bunch of memories, and um, even just the sun, beaming down on some, on a nice blanket of snow, or you look at the lake and the lake is completely frozen over with a blanket of snow. It just everything seems very calm and, undisturbed. Just a nice sight. That'd be the only thing that I'd probably miss about the cold. Other than that, I personally could do without it. I can idle at 80 degrees. I'm a very warm person in my mind. I just don't feel like I just don't like it. And even some people always say, "Oh, I'd rather be cold because I'd rather be able to bundle up versus if it was hot outside, I can't take off my skin." You know what? Screw that. I'm idling, man. I don't feel that hot. It's a nice, comfortable temperature. I could probably fall asleep because like it feels like it's a blanket around me. The heat is just it's greatness. It's phenomenal. But if I have to put on layers, each and every part of me has to be layered up because now I got a hat on, I got I got a coat on, some sweatpants, but now my fingers are cold. I put my fingers inside my pockets. Now they're gonna start getting that cold sweat kind of stuff. It makes no sense. And now I don't have like a scarf or anything. My neck is cold. I know I'm complaining, but you know what? It's not cool. It's not all right. I don't like that some of my parts of my body is warm and others are not. That's probably why the cold sweats even happen. I dislike. It's all I got. It's not a fan. But I mean, but at the same time, living around an area where the let's say when the cold and the hot are so. Um, I don't even know how I would say it. It's like you have a thermostat, right? And it's in the winter it can be extremely cold, and when you come to the summer it's extremely hot. So I mean, I feel like my hot's a little bit different just because it's more humidity, and I probably like that nice little blanket. So if I were to go to somewhere like Florida or even I'm not thinking South America, but just far down south. Um, the hot is a little bit different because it's a lot more sunshine than it is humidity. So who knows? Who knows if I'll even like that? Because then I won't really, because I'll have year time round of that, and that's just gonna be a sun blaster. And I have asthma, but then again, the humidity doesn't really help with my asthma. Oh, things to think about. Oh man, I'm just thinking about like, oh, where would I move to? Because I'm not staying here, but where would I go? Hmm. Questions for later. But all in all, heat more than cold. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I feel like I think this was a great Monday podcast. I think this made me feel. I think this had a very big smile on my face. I think I'm glad I really just I just did it. I think I'm glad. I think in my mind I know how I'm going to get it done, and I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to accomplish than I'm going to make it, and I'm probably gonna make it a little bit of a harder of a challenge. But that's the beauty of life, right? Struggle. Who wants to be comfortable? You might as well struggle, and it makes it even better when it actually gets done, right? Well, that's where I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Uh, Look forward to the What Wednesday this week, and yeah, have a great rest of your night this time.